Hello, hello, and welcome to the Fairy Coach Tarot channel. My name is Raquel. Thank you for being here. Today is Monday, and as every Monday, we have an interactive tarot where you pick your deck and we look at work and career, right? So, what is the energy forecast for your professional life right now? And what is the guidance and advice from Spirit? All right. So, first, we begin by grounding, centering, and connecting with the breath. All right, so please be in a place or if you can, that you're undisturbed so we can connect and then roll those shoulders back, sit comfortably, move your neck from side to side gently. Right, and now let's take a deep breath. Inhale through the nose, hold, and exhale, elongating that exhale as much as you can, releasing all the tension. Now, wiggle the upper body, moving in that way your energy from whatever it was that you were doing so we can be centered in here. Now, choose the deck or the fairy that you feel called to. So let me move the fairies so you see the back of each deck. And we have the blue fairy, the yellow fairy, and the purple fairy today. All right, ready? Okay, let's start with the blue fairy. Now, we look at the general guidance for our work and career, but also we look at the challenges or opportunities that we have in this moment and what is the next step, what is the recommended next step. So let's go for it. Let's move the cards a bit, wake them up. It's early in the morning. That's when I try to do all my readings. Early in the morning when it is for you here in this channel, or for those readings that are pre-recorded that I send to you. I also try to do them in the mornings. I ground center, and then the rest of the day we can do for sessions, private sessions, live sessions that I offer to you as well. All right, so let's set the intention and tell the cards what it is that we want. So today we're looking for guidance for our professional life, for our work and career, for those projects. And we want the general advice and also opportunities and challenges and the next step forward recommended, and a prayer of protection in love and light for our highest good. All right, let's get started. Ooh. Okay, one. Here we have our general advice. Now let's look for those challenges and opportunities and the next steps. All right. All right, three cards that didn't seem to want to come out, and finally they did. So let's look at this general guidance. And who answers our call? It is the King of Pentacles. Look at this beautiful card, this generous king, this very earthy king, right? So we have that masculine energy and pentacles, that it is the earth element, right? So I always try to point out in the videos that kings, it is a masculine energy. It does not necessarily mean a gender role, like a man, but it is a masculine energy, right? And masculine energy is depicted as more practical, logical. It is that part of our brain that it's more organized, more set, right? That it's not so much about connecting with the emotions, but it is more of a practical, logical, as I mentioned, type of approach, right? And what is the earth element? And the earth element are our resources, the physical aspects in our life, right? And the King of Pentacles, it is the one that manages the suit, right? It is the king of its suit. So here the advice is to become like the King of Pentacles at this time. That means handle your work, your career, those projects that you are trying to bring forth with a lot of practicality, with logic, with a structure, right? And also make sure that you're handling the resources, right, that you have available to you. So it is, as I mentioned, like a very practical managerial approach, if you want to it, right? And it is saying, all right, so what are the resources involved here? It could be money, finances, right? It could be that there are certain things that you need to start looking for, resources to help you in your work. But mostly it is about your attitude and the way you approach your career right now. And it is to say, organization, structure, stability, being predictable, practicality, right? Having more of that cold, detached type of approach, right? At the same time, be generous, because this is a very generous king. And it is a king that is slow and like his pace and he pauses before he talks. He makes sure that the things that are in order, right? His finances are in order. This is the king that, it's not that it's frugal because he's generous, right? But he makes sure his finances are in order. He makes sure he has his ducks in a row, and he takes his time on doing things, but make sure everything is handled right. So ask yourself, here is the reflection on the question this king brings to you. What areas of your career or this project that you want or your professional life could benefit from handling things like this king, from bringing more of an organized approach, for being more practical, for detaching a little bit emotionally, right? And just focusing on the tasks, on the resources in front of you, right? So ask yourself, what are those that area or those parts of your career right now where you can implement the advice of this king, right? Because the energy forecast, the momentum calls for this type of approach on your part. Now, quick quick thing here that I always try to say in every video, because remember, for me, tarot is a tool, is my tool in my work, right? I have a master's in psychology. I'm a board certified coach and holistic practitioner specializing in energy healing. And I help in my sessions. I help you along the way. I accompany you in your path. So why I'm saying this is because for me, yes, I use tarot in a way, in a divinatory way, right? In divination, because divination at the end of the day is a talk to the divine. So for me, these are the messages that come from spirit. At the same time, I use tarot in a coaching and healing session. So I do not use tarot as in fortune telling, right? And fortune telling and divination are two different things. Fortune telling is predicting the future. For what I do not do, because in my beliefs, the future is fluid and we play a role and we can manifest and create or co-create with a spirit, right? So therefore, I don't do predictive readings of this is coming, because for me, the future is fluid and you have the gift of choice and the gift of free will. Now, divination is something else. Divination is a talk with a communication with the divine, getting to know what the divine is telling us, and that is the spirit world. So just wanting to tell you this as we do the readings. So it helps if you ever ask me for a private session, and it helps you understand the readings that I do here on this channel. Now, let's look at the opportunities and challenges, right? And we have another king. So we have a lot of masculine energy. That's what I mean by the energy forecast asks for this. So this is the advice. So we have another masculine energy, and right now we go from pentacles to swords. And swords is that mental, it's the air element, is the mental plane, communication, right? So what are the opportunities that this king is signaling to, or those challenges that can become opportunities? And it's all about how you communicate in your work, at your workplace, how you communicate with your clients, how you communicate the message or whatever it is that you're trying to sell. He's saying, again, it is about structure, it is about, managing. He's the manager of the suit of swords type of say. So he's saying right here, all right, there has to be an improvement in communication and communicating like a king, in the sense of you communicate assertively, you communicate with being self-assured, right? So if you're having challenges with your communication, or if you are in a role of sales and you find it hard, communication is a challenge and you're not getting your message across, or even communication within your workplace, this king advises right now, look for ways to improve your communication, right? That could be getting a book, signing up for a training, signing up for a communication coach to help you, or a mentor, or somebody you know. Even there are great podcasts out there. So looking at the question of this king is, what resources or what can you try to do to improve your communication at this time? And now let's see what is the recommended next step. And who answers our call is the spirit of the Queen of Wands. Interesting, we had two kings and now we have a queen. So now we bear toward that feminine energy, that loving, nurturing, more gentle, softer energy. And once we go to another suit right now, and once is that intention, that fire in the belly, like I call it. But it is important to remark that we have court cards, right? So we're dealing with a lot of masculine energy. Now we have that the first step, this is the first step right now, moving forward, advice is to work on that intention, right? Think of a one as a magic one, right? The one that you see in Harry Potter or any of these fantasy movies, that, the one. So that's your intention. So here, this queen with this one says, all right, the first step is to really reflect on what is your intention. Because before we put order and create a structure and stability and start communicating how we want, we need to make sure that our intention is towards something, right? What's your intention? What is that fire in the belly? Is it the job that you have? Is it actually that you do not enjoy your job and you want to change? So be clear about your intention. What is your intention in your career right now? Answer that question. What is it that you want professionally? And once you've identified this, nurture it. Make sure you write it down. Make sure you record it somewhere that you can see it every day. This is my intention towards my career, towards my work life right now. And then is when this says, all right, now that you have your intention, now we're going to put some order. We're going to look at the resources. We're going to act like a king, like a manager of our work, of our time, right? And we are going to improve our communication moving forward. All right, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share this message, as there may be somebody who can benefit from it. And as I've been saying, if you are interested in a private session with me, I have something for every budget, and the sessions can be live, either by phone or video call, or even chat if you like. Or you can purchase a pre-recorded reading that can be video like this one and get sent directly to your email, or audio, whatever you prefer. So please reach out. I would love to hear from you, or comment down below if there is anything that interests you that I'm not doing videos on, or just reach out if you want more information on my services. Okay, let's look now at that yellow fairy. All right, let's see what the yellow fairy has for us, for those who have picked this one. All right, let's set the intention and tell the cards what it is that we want at this time. This is a smaller deck, so I find smaller decks easier on the hands, although I enjoy the bigger deck just for the pictures. But let's see. All right, let's wake it up. We would like some guidance for our work and career. Please give us a general advice. Then tell us where there is an opportunity or a challenge that we need to overcome. And finally, the step moving forward in love and light for our highest good. All right. Okay. Now the opportunity. Oh, all right. I feel these two wanted to come out. All right. I try to honor the cards that want to come out, as I always say. So sometimes if the deck only gives us 3 cards, or sometimes it can give us more than 3. So I try to honor that, and I felt like there was a second one that wanted to come out. All right, we have answering our call, the Hierophant. All right, Major Arcana, double knock. Okay, here. So what is the advice of the Hierophant? Major Arcana, more impactful, or more important, however you want to call it, messages. The Hierophant is all about learning, right? And the Hierophant is pointing out that right now there may be something that we either need to learn, or even that we need to teach. Remember, in life we are all students, but we're all teachers, right? So we always have something to learn from others, and we also have something to teach. So this is what the Hierophant brings, right? So right now, ask yourself, where in your work and career could you benefit right now from a mentor? Could you benefit from somebody helping you with something? It could be either a mentor, it could be either or not a mentor, but learning something. Is there something that you find that would be a benefit for your work right now if you learned, right? So the Hierophant says, reach out to find that thing. What is it that you need to learn? There may be something you need to learn that can take you to the next level, and that's important. But also here, there may be some of you who are in a position at work where you can actually go to the next level. You can actually be a manager, supervisor, a team lead, that you've been in your position for a while, or that you have mastered your work in such a way that you can go to the next level. And the Hierophant is saying to take that leap, to let somebody know, hey, I can take the next step, you know, I can actually teach something, or coach or be a manager. So, this is what the Hierophant is asking you to reflect. Either there is something at work, in your projects, your career, that you find that you need to learn, that you could benefit from a mentor, from a training, from going back to school, from reading. There is something that you may need to learn. Or this could mean that there are others of you who have mastered your work and need to build up that courage to apply for a managerial position, for being a supervisor, for being a team lead, for a director, whatever is the next step up in your organization. So, very interesting and very powerful major arcana. Now, let's look at the opportunity right now, that opportunity or challenge that you have. And look at this, we have the Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords in traditional, or in the classic Rider Waite Smith tarot is usually depicted as somebody who has just seemed to have had a fight, an argument, right? And so this card Five of Swords, is is about conflict, right? Sometimes. And what this is telling us, remember, it's swords, the air element, right? Communication, thoughts. And the five is instability, right? Instability or change. So here, the Five of Swords says the opportunity that you have, or that challenge that you need to overcome, is maybe has to do with misunderstanding, arguments, um, or conflict at work, right? Or even conflict with someone specifically, right? And he's saying, right now, there is an energy that needs to be cleared. So, conflict, energy wise, creates blockages, creates low vibration. So, when there is a conflict, we usually have two choices. Either we move on, that means we learn to leave this relationship or this person or this situation behind us. Or if we care very much, we try to make it better. We find ways to build the bridge between us and the person or where the conflict is. So, these Five of Swords ask you, where is there conflict right now? Where can you identify conflict, low vibration around your work or the people you work with? And how can you either heal it, make it better, or how can you move forward and leave it behind you? Because that's going to create a block if you do not address it. Now, what is the recommended next step moving forward? And here, look at how many swords we have. So we have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Interesting for the next step moving forward. So, as I said, swords is the air element, it is communication, it is thoughts, right? That mental plane. And here, the next step moving forward. So, the main advice, and then the supportive card that I said, oh, I think this one also wants to come out. Interesting. And here we have both energies. that masculine energy that we were talking about before and the feminine energy. So here we have that part of our brain that is more practical and logical, and the part of our brain that deals with the emotions, with nurturing, right? And so here by these two cards, we have the yin yang of how things should be handled. So, what is the next step? What do the spirits of these cards tell us, right? That right now it's all about putting your thoughts in order and communicating, being a very assertive person in your communication with your thoughts in order. Create order around your thinking, right? Make sure what it I would recommend pause, take some time for yourself, meditate, ground, go for a walk, and whatever it is that can put those thoughts in order. What is the conflict? What's going on at work? What are the things that I need to learn? Where is my career going? Where are these projects going? So that's what I mean by create some order in your thoughts. And then communication. Then communicate the things that need to happen. Communicate if you need to learn something, if you need to change jobs to the next level, if there is a conflict. Or something that needs to be addressed, a conversation that needs to be had. This is what this king advises. And the queen says, supports this card by saying, yes, do all of this, but remember to also be nurturing to yourself and to others. So by, yes, in a way you have to put your thoughts in order, you have to communicate clearly, yes, but at the same time, remember, you're dealing with people. Even if you're dealing with yourself, you are a person. So keeping in mind kindness in your communication. Assertiveness, you can be assertive and kind at the same time. All right, I hope you liked your reading. Very interesting. You have a lot of swords, so I can see that there is an energy here that calls for a lot of communication and handling your thoughts. And then either having to learn something, um, finding help, or going to the next level and applying for that position that is a step up from what you have right now. All right, I hope you liked your reading. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you want a private session with me, do not hesitate to reach out and ask for more information or look at the description for those links to my website or my Gumroad storefront. All right, let's look at the purple fairy right now. All right, let's see for those of you who picked this one. Let's move it around, wake it up. All right. And let's set the intention. We would like guidance for our work and career, for our professional life. Please give us the main advice, the main guidance, and also what opportunities or challenges are along the way, as well as the recommended next step in love and light for our highest good. All right. To here, main advice. Two again. All right, interesting. Ooh, they are jumpy. These cards want to talk today. All right, settle, settle, settle. Give us the message. Okay. All right, they were definitely talkative. All right. Let me just put the rest away. All right, so let's see who answered our call. So we have the Knight of Swords and the Five of Swords. Oh, we have swords again. Before in the last deck, we had a lot of swords, and here we have again swords. Again, air element, communication, that thoughts, mental plane. And what is this Knight of Swords and the Five of Swords that is supporting it saying? Okay, the Knight of Swords, look how fast he goes, right? And he has the sword in hand and he's ready for battle, ready to conquer. So, what is this knight saying? Okay, it is time to move for action. It is a time to say what needs to be said, to take action towards what you want with a clear mind, with decisiveness, with saying, Here I come. So it's all about action. And it's all about also saying what needs to be said at this time. So if there is something that you've been holding on to and you were like, I don't know if I should say this night saying, here, the momentum. Take action. Move forward. Do not stay stuck in the past. Do not stay stuck at all. This night is a lot about action and fast action. All right? So, things to reflect on. What are the questions this night brings us? Is what do you feel needs to be said? What is something that maybe you have been holding on to that you haven't said and you feel that it's time to be said? What are the next step? What is the first step that you need to take right now? What is something that you've had in your mind that says, oh, I should do this, and you've been doubting? No, do it, right? So reflect on those things, your next step, your whatever needs to be said. You know, just movement and action. It's not a time for reflection, for pausing, but it's about taking action. There is an energy momentum here that calls for action. And how is the Five of Swords supporting this? Again, this is the five that is usually depicts the end of an argument or a fight, right? So it says there is something that needs to be said, move forward, it's all about action. Now, remember that by saying what you need to be said, there may be others that do not appreciate it. There may create conflict, but it's telling you sometimes this conflict is necessary, right? It's not about winning at all costs, but remembering that we cannot avoid hard conversations just to keep the peace when keeping the peace is actually unhealthy for us. So, something to think about. A little thing I just feel I need to say because this is a work and career tarot reading, right? It's a message for the collective. Now, if you're hearing this message and something inside of you, this resonated, but it's like, it doesn't the message resonate, but it doesn't seem applicable for my work. It may be applicable for my personal life or something that happened with a friend or whatever it is. Remember, if a message resonates with you, that's a spirit telling you you needed to hear this, right? So my intention with this reading today is about work and career. However, spirit and intuition is there to guide you. If a message resonates but it's not applicable to your work and career, it could be applicable to your personal life. So if it resonates, take it. That's I felt directly, I sensed that spirit wanted me to say that. All right, so main message, something needs to be said, action needs to be taken, and it may ruffle some feathers, but it's not about keeping the peace or winning at all costs, but there are some hard conversations that you cannot shrink from because they need to be said. Now, let's look at the challenges, opportunities, right? And we have the Nine of Wands and a major arcana supporting it, and that it is the Hanged Man. All right, so what is the Nine of Wands telling us, right? The Nine of Wands is all about, that last push for something. And this time, the Nine of Wands is telling you, do not give up. Whatever it is that has been challenging lately, if you've been feeling you're about to give up on something, this nine says, don't give up. This is the last push, right? So ask yourself, what is it something I was about to throw the towel? No, no, no. This nine says, come on, you got this. It's the last push, right? So this is kind of like your motivation to say, you can do this. It is hard, but you're almost there. And the Hanged Man, that is this major arcana double knock, supports this card by saying, perhaps what you need is a change of perspective. So, right now, pause for a second with and think if what you were going to give up, what you were going to stop doing, and it's saying change your perspective and keep going, right? The spirit's saying that is achievable. Whatever it is that you think, oh, I was about to give up on this, spirit's saying, no, you got this. That's achievable, but you may need to change perspectives about it. All right. And what is the next step recommended right now? And the next step comes by the Hierophant, another major arcana, important message, major impact. Again, the Hierophant is learning, is knowledge, is tradition as well. So it has different meanings in that way. So for here, I sense that what the Hierophant, the spirit of this card, is telling us, it is to follow a more traditional approach, right, in your work and your career. And remember that there is a path forward, right? So do not give up, change perspective, but a more traditional approach may be recommended. So also, it's a card of learning, finding a mentor, finding somebody who helps you. So perhaps if there is something that is bothering you, that conversation that needs to be had, those next steps, whatever it is that you were feeling about to give up, the Hierophant says, okay, right now, take a more traditional approach, and also think of somebody who could be your ally or who could help you in this precise moment. So some reflection here, some questions to answer, right? So let's take a quick recap because this has been more cards. The main advice for you is to take action right now towards the things that you want. There is a momentum, so take action. There may be a conversation that needs to be had. Do not be afraid, have it. Even if it creates a little bit of conflict. It's a hard conversation that needs to be had. You need to take those steps forwards, even if there is some people that perhaps it's not a conversation, perhaps it's those steps forwards that some people may not like. Right now, you need to do what's best for you. So go for it. If there is something that you were about to give up, something that you weren't unsure of, Spirit says there is a momentum for it. You got this. Change perspectives. That's what you could need. And the first step forward is to have a more traditional approach, but also ask for help. There may be somebody or something you can learn that could help you right now, but in a more traditional approach way. All right, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share this message. There may be somebody who can benefit from it. Now, I want to go over my offerings again. So I offer live tarot sessions, tarot with coaching, and they can be done from anywhere, and there is something for every budget. So we have 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 1 hour, right? And that's your time for the session. And you can do it either by video call, by phone, or even chat if that's what you want. And besides that, I also offer pre-recorded readings. So having like a video like this for your particular situation sent to you, or an audio if that's also what you want. There is, as I said, something for every budget in different formats. If you want to know more about my work, if you have any questions, please reach out. Brightest blessings.